need them to properly engage with the details of this pool, step up to the table. But alongside that, I just want to reassert this point that we are seeing millions of taxpayers' money being invested in the research and development for the medical solutions for this. We do need to see those conditions attached that will force the sharing of these solutions to this pandemic. The scale of the crisis is too big, it's too vast to leave it to the voluntary and philanthropic efforts of pharmaceutical companies.
Anna, thank you. Achal Pravala, we were hoping to speak to you earlier, and I believe you're back with us again now. In the role that civil society can have, not just in this particular technology access pool, but also just in response to COVID-19 in general.
Well, look, civil society has a limited role to play here. Civil society, governments, and national governments, especially those governments which have the capacity to manufacture tests and treatments and vaccines, who also have the political will to do what they need to do with intellectual property monopolies, can make some efforts to do their bit to contain the pandemic. But the truth is that we need the COVID technology pool to succeed because it's really the best shot that the world has. Most countries in the world don't have the capacity to be able to manufacture what they need, even without the presence of police that will thwart their ability to do so. But in saying so, we need to have a couple of things in place. The first is participation. We need to have the participation of rich countries. And along with that participation, we need to have the leverage that rich countries of their investment and buying of medical technologies, that they can then contribute to the pool. But we also need to look at the scope of the pool. In the past, a lot of access licenses have been satisfied to stop at poor countries, at getting access to poor countries. I think what we need to look at here is getting access to poor people, wherever countries, whether they live in what are called middle-income countries, or indeed whether they live in rich countries. I think if we go by the access models of the past, they've failed, primarily because they have failed to reach the vast numbers of poor people in a highly unequal country, like Brazil, for instance, simply because it's classified as a middle-income country, and it's assumed, therefore, that they have better access to buying drugs on the market or vaccines on the market, where in fact they don't.
Achal Pravala, I'm hoping that we can now speak to the Managing Director of the UN Technology Bank, Joshua Setipa. Joshua, if you can hear me, I'm just going to crack on with my question and hope with the connection. I'm wondering then, how can we ensure that medicines, once they are available, vaccines, etc., are available on an equitable basis, across the world?
Well, thank you very much for this. We, as a technology bank, we are an implementing partner of the Health Technology Access Pool and are working very well with the WHO, with the UNDP, and also with UNCTAD in launching the Technology Access Partnership, which seeks to add that we've had so well articulated today. One of the realities is that having the technology available is one step, but where the challenge remains is how do you then transfer or transfer it to produce and be able to meet the demand that we see that countries are facing today. And what we are doing as a technology access that connects technology holders with technology seekers and provide also support to that is available into actual capacity to produce. We are also working with to ensure that there is also capacity that will not only just to meet their current COVID-19 challenges, but also be able to be part of their post-recovery effort. And one of the key areas of support that we are providing to developing countries is to also serve as a repository for this technology data and for knowledge, and also to provide legal and policy support, which we know is very important for technology-seeking entities, and also to facilitate these partnerships, which are very key. As we've heard from our colleagues from civil society, is an effort that requires all stakeholders on board. Otherwise, where there are gaps, the poor countries or the least developed countries are the ones that fall behind. Thank you very much.
Joshua Setipa, thank you very much. We've had lots of questions coming in from members of the public who are watching this. And so I would like to just sort of throw some of those questions, or at least one of them, when I can find them on my screen as well. So perhaps to Dr. Jacques Dubochet, what can we draw from knowledge pooling during the AIDS pandemic? And of course, this is something that we've been talking about a lot, but what learning can we draw from knowledge pooling during the HIV/AIDS pandemic? That question let's go to Dr. Dubochet.
I'm not a specialist. There are people who are much better for that. But nevertheless, the COVID is... Oh, sorry. Activez le son.
No,
okay?
we can hear you clearly, sir, yeah.
Oh, yes. Well, that I was saying before that this COVID is an exercise for the planet or what so. Stockholm, when I gave my speech for my Nobel Prize, asking that anything about medicine, about belongs, is a common good for all the world. We have the problem, the case of COVID. And the COVID will be an excellent exercise for considering anything about medicine, about health, as a common good of good work.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dubochet. Another question. Let me just bring up my screen so I can see clearly. Let's put to Professor Stieglitz. What guarantee can you give, or can the panel give in general, that this initiative will benefit everyone on the planet? This is, of course, what we're talking about in general, is how to make sure that this is delivered and distributed on an equitable basis. But what guarantee can the panelists here give that this initiative will do just that?
Well, I think what we can say is that it's going to be more equal than it otherwise would be. I don't think we can ever, in our very unequal society, expect anything to be fully equal. But if we leave it to the usual mechanisms of monopoly pharmaceutical companies driving up the prices, it will mean that those who are poorer, whether they're in the rich countries, the middle-income countries, or the whole, they won't have access unless we have this kind of patent pool. So to me, it's an absolutely essential step in moving towards greater equality of access. And remember, unless many people have emphasized the fact, unless the whole world is protected, none of us are protected. So it requires a global effort to make sure that everybody gets the vaccines, to the testing, to the retrovirals, to the therapeutic medicines.
Philippe Duneton from Unitaid, I hope you're still with us. I could see you on the screen there. But another question, this is coming from viewers who are watching this. Who owns the data and how will it be governed? I don't know if this is an appropriate question for you, but I'm wondering if you care to offer an answer to that. Philippe Duneton.
Sorry. We are focusing on the IP. And I think it's correct because it's a barrier. But to make sure that, in particular for certain type of product, you need to have also a way to transfer the know-how, transfer the quality insurance, and also to have mechanisms to make sure that you have the right price. So, of course, that's the question, and we discussed with WHO, we discussed with the medicine patent pool because we know very well how it will work. But we need to also build a system that can cope with that kind of other type of information that we need with the production. Just a point, because I think that we need to be clear. If we get a treatment and potentially a vaccine, one company itself to have the capacity to address the volume. So it's something that we need to work on with the pharmaceutical industry. It's not just is a practical need that we need to cooperate and to find solutions. That's why this initiative is quite important. But we need also the support of industry to find a way to address that very specific question you have, IP is important, and we have, with the medicine patent pool that is up and running, but we need also to address other type of information to make sure that we can increase really the production capacity.
And Greg Alton, if you're still there on the line as well, which I believe, again, you are, and people watching, is a patent pool sounds like the most viable way forward, but what are the enablers and barriers to implementing this? Greg, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I just was trying to turn my the mechanism is there already. So we've already, and Charles talked about this, we've already seen success with the patent pool for access to medicine for products that already have been developed, HIV, now in viral hepatitis, and it's expanding into other areas. And with this patent pool, it's done at company level. A company would go to the medicines patent pool, negotiate the scope of the license, so the countries that would be covered, that would have access to the generic medicines that we produce, other conditions put on it. But it actually has worked quite well. But now to comment on some other speakers that have talked before, the bigger challenge is countries that are not within the medicines patent pool or were not covered by the scope of the license, the countries in between, and then the wealthy countries. And it's going to be middle-income countries. It's going to be poor people even in wealthy countries that aren't covered. And so I think what's missing is how we address those populations. And I think we need to have a really rational conversation about what the commitments at the country level is. Take a middle-income country in a wealthy country to provide access to poor people, and what a reasonable, fair, equitable from the industry would be to address that. The mechanism that exists right now. What does not exist today, sharing the pooling of knowledge.
Oh, Greg, we lost you just at the end then, but I think you've wrapped up. My thanks to all the participants. We've reached that part in this session, in this very exciting launch. We hear from some heads of state who haven't unfortunately been able to join us live, send us more supporting statements and video messages as well. We know that this is a global effort, a global collective effort. And as we've been hearing from all the participants so far, global challenges need global solutions. And I'm so thrilled that we have a number of hugely supportive statements from Excellencies, heads of state from across the world. So with His Excellency Lenín Moreno, the President of Ecuador, and then, as I say, we will go through several others afterwards. If we have time at the end, I will try to get to submitting them in. If not, we will, of course, make sure that WHO is collating them, and we'll get back to you as well, perhaps with some direct messages from the experts from across the board who've been involved in the discussion today. Please do all stay on the line, and we'll go through some of these videos now from our distinguished presidents and the like from around the globe. So first of all, let's hear from the President of Ecuador. This is His Excellency Lenín Moreno.
I'm pleased to declare Palau's support in the United Nations call to action, calling for solidarity.
Estimado amigo y
Dear friend and President of Costa Rica, Carlos Alvarado, Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Adhanom. We are all witnesses, common enemy that faces humanity now. No country has the capacity to fight this alone, and I think we've realized that. Global crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic side our private interest, and we must all act together, showing solidarity and unity through multilateral fora such as this one, the World Health Organization, under the premise that health is a global good. The fight against this pandemic requires that we don't reinvent the wheel. We have to think about how international cooperation together so that we can develop scientific solutions that guarantee the health of all populations with no exclusions. We must act urgently together so that we can bring a halt to COVID-19. We need to overcome barriers that prevent access to knowledge, and we have to have open and transparent access to intellectual property, because it is essential to guarantee a critical human right, which is health. Many more actors will have to join the WHO, such as financial actors on an international level, humanitarian, governmental agencies, and join us. Private pharmaceutical companies and providers will have to join us. Ecuador today calls on the international community to accelerate the finding of scientific solutions so that scientific development helps and that we have wide-ranging exchange, and that the work for prevention and response to COVID-19 is in the hands of all. Governments play a significant setting up mechanisms that ensure that all research is global level. Ecuador considers that the pandemic is without doubt a difficulty and a problem, but it also presents a major opportunity to renew the multilateral system through linked responses and on the principles of cooperation, solidarity and equity. And with a joint focus, we can also responsibility to citizens. So my country, to this call for action to accelerate efforts for development that are being made so that we can find treatment and vaccine against COVID-19. Thank you very much.
My apologies, I muted myself. Totally my fault. Now, we had a taster just before hearing from President Moreno of another president. Apologies for that mix. Our thanks, of course, to the President of Ecuador, President Moreno. We will now hear Thomas Isang Remengesau.
Pleased to declare Palau's support in the United Nations call to action, calling for solidarity in ensuring equitable global access to the health technologies being developed for prevention, control, and treatment of COVID-19. The Republic of Palau has been fortunate to be one of the few countries in the world with no confidence of the coronavirus. This accomplishment has only been possible through the drastic but necessary measures our borders to international travelers. Although we have successfully prevented the virus from arriving so far, we, like the many other island states that have taken it, cannot keep our borders closed forever. Island states may seem isolated from the rest of the world, but we are also deeply embedded in the global economy and rely on individuals outside of our borders to enable our continued development. We are eager for the day when international travel is once again safely possible, and when we can welcome everyone back to our pristine paradise. Making this future a reality is why this call to action is so important. Just as the virus does not discriminate based on passports, neither should its cure. Palau joins the countries around the world and the WHO in this call to action, and affirms that the health technologies being developed in response to the COVID-19 pandemic should be available to everyone. We are already seeing deeply worrying statements that countries that research vaccines and manufacture treatments should be priority in access to those health technologies. But where does that leave the smallest of us, research and manufacturing capabilities? We need instead to turn to solidarity, especially in this 75th anniversary year of the founding of the United Nations. We need to live up to the vision of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, to leave no one behind. It is only through this global solidarity and ensuring equitable access to COVID-19 health technologies that we will overcome this pandemic. Thank you very much.
Thanks there to the President of Palau, Tommy Remengesau. Let's hear now from the President of Uruguay, His Excellency Luis Lacalle Pou.
Dear President Alvarado, I am speaking to you from the north of the country, where we were looking at some significant outbreaks, areas of outbreak on the border with Brazil, and always, and in this case even more, would like to join with the proposal and for governments, private companies and international organizations to adhere to this. It's very important for coming out of this pandemic, but also for the future. I think that will be a lesson that we will be able to continue. So we are very happy to join this.
The Minister, the Honourable Minister for Foreign Affairs in Indonesia, and sent us this video.
Your Excellency, the Director General of WHO, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the President of the Republic of Indonesia, saying Indonesia appreciation for Costa Rica initiative on the action to ensure global access for medicine and equipment necessary in our fight against COVID-19. Very timely and addresses a paramount issue to availability and accessibility of treatment and vaccine for this disease. In this regard, Indonesia supports the hope that a voluntary pooling of patents will significantly accelerate the production of COVID-19 medicine and vaccine to meet global demand, particularly for developing and least developed countries. This is the time for us to also rally behind the WHO to be the platform for cooperation among countries in matters concerning public health and to ensure that multilateralism delivers. Upon the discovery of the treatment, medicine and vaccine for COVID-19, it is imperative that we ensure its availability and affordability for people everywhere. Just as COVID-19 does not discriminate nationalities, race, religion, or economic status, so its remedy must also be accessible to everyone of their background. I thank you very much.
We thank you. The Honourable Abdullah Amin is the Minister of Health in the Maldives and sent us this video.
To all colleagues, friends and leaders from like-minded governments, to heads of WHO and other relevant multilateral institutions, to our partners belonging to the pharmaceutical and medical technology community, and to all and everyone who believes in global solidarity to safeguard human dignity and well-being. COVID-19 has taught us how interconnected and interdependent we are, how vulnerable and ill-prepared most countries of a public health pandemic, a pandemic that rages on for months, damaging not only our general health and exposing the weaknesses in our health systems, but draining our resources and crippling the global economy, which inevitably would have enduring socio-economic impacts across and within countries and communities. While no country has been spared from the effect of worse affected than others, and the challenges of overcoming this calamity is equally daunting to such nations. At this critical juncture, a historical moment when humanity itself is at stake, the world has an historic opportunity to come together in global solidarity to overcome a global threat. Solidarity in ensuring that all persons have human dignity and are ensured basic human rights, including the right to health and equality. In respect of global principles and commitments, when a treatment or vaccine for COVID-19 is developed, some countries or communities should not be left far behind. We are all equal and belong to one world. Maldives applauds this timely initiative by the President and Government of Costa Rica and supported by the WHO. As individual nations continue fighting the disease locally, the global battle against COVID-19 pandemic can only be won by real access to COVID-19 health technologies through sharing of knowledge, intellectual property, and data. Therefore, I, on behalf of the Government of Maldives, wish to join other like-minded nations and endorse the solidarity call to action on COVID-19. I am sure with global and shared resources, we would be able to overcome this calamity. With global solidarity, all nations join hands, humanity will always triumph.
Abdullah Amin, thank you very much. We move away now from heads of state and honourable ministers, and we hear from Michelle Bachelet, who is the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates, it is my pleasure to join you all in launching this call to action, an important issue for us, especially today, ensuring that everyone has equal access to medicines and health technologies to prevent, detect, and treat COVID-19. The arrival of this pandemic transformed the world and our way of living in the space of a few short weeks. The outbreak and the measures adopted in response to it have highlighted stark societal inequalities and their impact on our opportunities in life, our ability to thrive, and all of our human rights, including health. Even before we were confronted with COVID-19, access to healthcare, medicines, and health technologies was uneven, with deprivation depending on whether one was poor, susceptible to discriminations of marginalization. The pandemic has only broadened these disparities, and we must act now to change this harmful dynamic that robs so many of life and health. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we all recognize the imperative to build back better. And it is here that our partnership as actors in government, civil society, the education system, the private sector, and others has the opportunity to come into its own. Each of us holds one or several of the keys to unlocking access to medicines and health technologies for all. Some hold the keys to law and policy, others to research, development, and innovation, and still others to affordability. Our human rights values, among them the rights to life, health, and to enjoy the benefits of scientific progress and its applications, equality and non-discrimination, can help us to navigate this confused responsibility. The benefits of scientific progress, especially as they apply life-saving innovations, were always meant to be shared. At no time has it been more urgent to work towards this goal. If not rapidly brought under control, the COVID-19 pandemic will continue to devastate livelihoods, businesses, and economies, affecting all of us in some way. So let us join forces to exchange data and information, accelerate technology transfer, and expand the availability of medicines and health technologies. Let us all do our part, and let us do it well.
Michelle Bachelet for us there. Let's hear now from Jagan Chapagain, who is the Secretary General of the IFRC, the International Federation of the Red Cross.
Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies is fully committed to this call to action. We join to assure equitable global access to new COVID-19 essential health technologies, starting from the most vulnerable population in the most difficult and fragile context. Developing technologies, be it vaccines, drugs, or diagnostic, is a first important step. Ensuring fair allocation across timely delivery to all in need, especially the most vulnerable, will be the greatest challenge. The time to prioritize equity is now. Prioritizing equity means putting the most disadvantaged communities at the center of our collective response to COVID-19 pandemic. Fair and equitable allocation and distribution will require effective and inclusive engagement of the communities in the entire life cycle of this mammoth process. Therefore, one of the key priorities should be the meaningful participation of the organizations with deep roots in the communities and the communities themselves at every stage to promote the global scientific research into COVID-19 prevention, detection, treatment, and care. IFRC, through its 192 member Red Cross and Red Crescent societies, with their network of 14 million volunteers, are providing life-saving services and essential assistance across the world. Workers, including Red Cross and Red Crescent volunteers, represent a sustainable, trusted, and critical in delivering healthcare services. Together with communities and health service providers, they join efforts for better health, prevent diseases, raise awareness, and reach out the most vulnerable and outreach populations with concrete action. During the current pandemic, they are listening and responding to the needs of the most vulnerable groups, helping to mitigate the direct and indirect health consequences of COVID-19, as well as its social and economic impact. As we gather today to call for fairness and equity, we offer a large community network of volunteers and our global presence in support of the call to action to continue protecting every single person from the dramatic impact of COVID-19 and ensure that we leave no one behind. The power of our common humanity is and will be measured by how we collectively protect the weakest among us. Thank you.
Jagan Chapagan, thank you very much. Shannon Haider is the Deputy Executive Director of UNAIDS.
I'm Shannon Haider, and I'm the Deputy Executive Director at UNAIDS. Humanity today, in all its fragility, is searching for an effective and safe vaccine against COVID-19. It's our best hope of putting a stop to the painful global pandemic. UNAIDS called on health ministers at the Assembly last week to rally behind the idea of a people's vaccine. And we support a solidarity call to action to establish a global pool of products for health to prevent, diagnose, and treat COVID-19. The solidarity call promotes the sharing of knowledge, of data, and intellectual property on COVID-19 to drive the most rapid development, best distribution of all technologies designed to detect, prevent, and treat the virus. It ensures that those technologies can't be monopolized or hoarded or otherwise restricted from reaching the people who need them most. Just like healthcare, a virus vaccine cannot be a privilege. It must be a right for all to be shared and a shared investment in our common safety and well-being. Thank you.
Shannon Haider, thanks very much indeed. We're now going to hear from Paul Fellner.
Fellner, President and CEO of Revision Therapeutics, and I'm grateful for the chance to support the solidarity call to act for a COVID-19 technology pool. In addition to public good and human rights, information sharing accelerates progress and reduces cost, factors that should motivate investors to support the technology pool. The largest company and even the largest country can only create and know a fraction of available information. Accordingly, in an information sharing environment, fusion of information yields multiples, not mere percentages, of information dividends. A study of 100 patients becomes a study of 10,000. A single regulatory dossier can benefit from the experience of 10 others, and the next one from 11. Manufacturing can quickly scale globally from one sector. This amplification of benefit should be incentive enough, if not for researchers, for their funders who seek to maximize the value of every dollar of investment. Secrecy of data, regulatory dossiers, and manufacturing processes may confer a profitable competitive advantage to the owner of that information in usual circumstances. We're not in usual circumstances. The economic cost of COVID-19 far outweighs any individual benefit. The global economic consequences the world has already experienced COVID-19 should convince everyone to prioritize speed, including information sharing. COVID-19 Therapeutics Accelerator, a consortium of 15 multinational pharmaceutical companies and the Gates Foundation, offers compelling evidence that even commercial entities recognize that innovation means speed.
And we turn now to Richard Wilder, who is the General Counsel and Director of Business Development with CEPI.
Epidemic preparedness innovations, the opportunity to speak on the solidarity call to action to realize equitable global access to COVID-19 technologies. CEPI is wholly committed to equitable access to the vaccines we fund, and the opening lines from the call to action resonate with us. The single most important priority of the global community is to stop the COVID-19 pandemic in its tracks, to halt its rapid transmission and reverse the trend of consequential global distress. We know that this goal is only everyone everywhere can access the health technologies they need for COVID-19 detection, prevention, treatment, and response. Again, this resonates strongly with CEPI and is in accordance with how we manage the COVID-19 vaccine projects we are funding. Speed, scale, and fair access are our central driving objectives. The call to action urges actors involved in this work to take specific action. To that end, let me tell you what CEPI is doing. First, we believe there is strength in numbers when it comes to the scientific process. The scientific community working on COVID-19 interventions can advance more rapidly if what we are learning is shared broadly, rapidly, and openly. In our agreements, we require our awardees to rapidly disseminate project results, such as assays and standards, animal models, or correlates of protection, share project data with the broader community, publicly disclose clinical trial data, and publish the results of the research under open access principles. Second, we ensure access to the vaccines that result from our funding through our funding agreements. Consistent with the call to action, our agreements specify that the vaccines produced must be affordable, available, and accessible to all who need them. These agreements specify how these obligations will be met, including, of course, any necessary intellectual property licensing arrangements. Third, we are a committed partner in the Access to COVID-19 Tools Accelerator. The vaccine pillar includes CEPI, Gavi, and the WHO as implementing partners. We're working with those partners to design a global allocation and procurement mechanism, which will deliver equitable access to the vaccine's CEPI funds. Our agreements explicitly enable the obligations on access to flow into those procurement and allocation mechanisms in the ACT Accelerator. We're glad to be able to join with so many dedicated organizations, researchers, and companies to meet the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. Only by being inclusive, being open to finding solutions, and working together towards a common goal articulated in the call to action succeed. Thank you very much.
Richard Wilder there. And finally, from the videos, from Hanan Sboul, the chair of the International Generic and Biosimilar Medicines Association, otherwise known as IGBA.
And Biosimilar Medicines Association, IGBA, invites generic and biosimilar medicines manufacturers to actively engage and commit to contributing to the global manufacturing capacity once an existing or newly discovered therapeutic is proven to be effective against COVID-19. As stipulated by this unique and time-limited new health technology pool, share of open relevant technologies, knowledge, IP, and data on a voluntary basis will facilitate their use in research and development and will mobilize and expand additional manufacturing capacity since effective technology and early access to key technologies would be permitted. This should be complemented by a clear policy action by WHO member states to plan for future need in full transparency and cooperation with the pharmaceutical industry, both right holders and licensed. A framework will be provided, allowing generic and biosimilar medicines manufacturers to actively contribute to the global manufacturing capacity by utilizing their know-how and expertise to produce and distribute generic and biosimilar versions of patented medicines at global level. The licenses will also provide the freedom to develop new treatments, such as combinations and special formulations for children. Competition will also help prices down and accelerate access to COVID-19 treatments and help to overcome this global pandemic. Thank you.
Well, as I mentioned before, that is the end of all of the videos. Of course, heard from so many heads of state and from members of the public have been getting in contact. Those of you who are watching online at the moment, and thank you for that. But it's now really just to wrap up. This has, of course, been the launch of this landmark COVID-19 technology access pool, otherwise known as CTAP. We've, as I've said, heard from heads of state. We've also heard from so many representatives from the world of academia, from industry, civil society as well, international WHO, and my great thanks to, big thanks to all of you who have stayed around and who have answered so many of my questions and questions from the public and the media as well as we've gone through this mark launch. I would also like to express huge thanks from WHO to its partner in this, and that is, of course, President Alvarado of Costa Rica. So, Your Excellency, I know you've been also sticking around and listening to all the contributors on this call. Our huge thanks to you, and thank you for coming up with this initiative and you well with seeing it through as well. That's just for me now to say on for watching. I'm sure you can watch back this discussion online as well on the various formats. And for now, have a very good evening from London.
Thank you. Listos.
Types of crimes, meaning Mr. Floyd is not going to be released on the street pending an investigation and subsequent charges. Why, if you have concluded from your eyes to be a murderer, isn't someone pending the completion of an investigation and pending charges, you have the authority to arrest and hold.
Typically, in a situation where you have actually witnessed a crime and you have the immediate, you are immediately able to apprehend the suspect, it would be not unusual to have made an arrest, brought that person in, and then offered to the county attorney what you were able to cobble together in terms of information to seek a criminal charge. If there was no criminal charge because you did not have sufficient, then the person is released pending further investigation. In this case, because there was a lag time between when the event occurred, when the video came out, and when BCA was then brought into this, there was not that same immediacy. And so a criminal investigation was initiated by the BCA very quickly, working in conjunction with Amy Sweezy from the Hennepin County Attorney's Office to follow the protocols that County Attorney Freeman has outlined that he wants us to follow in terms of a off-involved death case. So we are following the protocols that were established, continue to follow those protocols. We continue to meet with the county attorney. We continue to meet with the FBI, with the U.S. attorney, as we continue to seek justice and to seek what can we do and what are we allowed to do in bringing this case to a conclusion.
Quick one, do the guardsmen have authority to detain?
No, we do not have that authority. That's why typically in our missions we'll always have a law enforcement officer with us. So we have that support immediately available, but no, we don't.
Well, we have one more question. Governor, you've got aspirations and plans here. Can you stand here right now and assure Minnesotans that we're not going to see a repeat of the unrest last night, tonight, or for the rest of the weekend?
I can't assure you, but the responsibility to ensure it doesn't happen falls upon me. And I will do everything in my power to do that. As I said, I spent myself 24 years in the National Guard. I'm surrounded by good people. We're pulling the assets in. I'm going to need the help of Minnesotans, like we do on a lot of this. I'm going to need folks to cooperate to want to acknowledge again that pain that people are feeling, the need to get justice. I'm going to respond to Peter's question too on this, Peter, because it was an excellent question, asking about the charges and things. For those of you who don't, I am not an attorney. I listen to them, and they're very concerned that the governor has to be very careful about what they say about prejudice in case. We want to make sure everybody gets justice, it gets done. But the questions that Minnesotans and the outrage they're feeling, I'm feeling them. It is taking all of my willpower to maintain that point of being asked. But the way I'm able to get them justice is by making sure that I put things in place that civil order is maintained, that we make it clear that there is an expectation that justice is moved forward. And as Attorney General Ellison, this is a point in time that we cannot forget. Cannot forget George. We cannot forget the aftermath of this, as if we would have to get back to that point of what caused this all to happen and start working on that. So the anger and the frustration and the wondering why this is, that's a community that year after year, decade after decade, and generation after generation hears this. So right now, I know there's a lot of folks out there listening that their answer should be, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when justice is carried out. I'll believe it when equity actually means something. I'll believe it when the policies change. I'll believe it when my child gets the same education as your child and that color didn't matter. So I get it right now. We're asking an awful lot to be based on faith, and that's not panned out. But I do want to say, this is a state that I think we are coming to grips with the good that we have and that's not there. It's always been about trying to strive to be better, trying to do more. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. Just much like COVID-19, I've had to stand in front of you and tell you that it's going to get worse before it gets better. This is not going to be an easy journey. But the one thing that we have to ensure that civil order is maintained, so those changes we want to see. None of us can live in a society where roving bands go and do what they want to do, ruin property. And that the expectation is, where are the police? Where are the police? And this is the conundrum. Where are the police in the first place got us in this situation Monday night, and where are the police last night is it. And I heard from numerous people, I'm super nervous about the National Guard being there. It's a flashpoint. This is a community. I understand that. I heard from some of those same people at 2 o'clock with a different tone. Where's the National Guard? Where is the National Guard? So over these next 24 to 48 hours, work with us to get the situation controlled. I want to talk to those mayors who are up 24/7 in Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's not about calling out someone on lack of leadership. It's about an issue as it developed and all of us figuring out how we get there. This is volatile. This has been building for decades. This flashpoint came to us, and now what are we going to do about it? And it happened in the middle of an unprecedented global pandemic. So it gives us a chance. We're going to get to pick our paths very quickly here. How are we going to be seen by the world in coming days? How are we going to be seen after that? How are we going to respond to one another? And then what are we going to do about it? And again, if I were ever these communities listening, I'd say, well, I'm going to believe it when I see it. So the first task at hand is get civil control back, get justice moving quickly and fairly, and start talking about together, how do we rebuild? How do we rebuild trust in the police? How do we rebuild those stores? How do we rebuild a society, a world that sees us for so many positive things, but we need to recognize this, and we need to take a hard look and figure out how do we change that. So I want to thank you all. Again, I'm going to close because of the importance I've said with the press. Deepest apology, the reporters that were out there. Expectations that, again, that cannot happen. We will do our best today, and I would ask all of you, as the ongoing mission of peace and security today is making sure that that story is told. I'm asking our team to make sure that press credentials, the ability to move you and protect you safely needs to be out there. So this is, please let us know quickly on that. Please make sure that that's happening. Please show the world everything that's happened through that lens of professional journalists who ask the questions you're asking today. So thank you all.
Tonight, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern on C-SPAN, watch Class of 2020 commencement speeches by Dr. Deborah Birx to her alma mater, Houghton College in New York. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine to his Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi to Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden's delivering remarks to Columbia Law School graduates. And Secretary of Defense Mark Esper to the Naval Academy in Annapolis. Watch Class of 2020 commencement speeches tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on C-SPAN and online at cspan.org, or listen on the free C-SPAN radio app. C-SPAN will have live coverage of the SpaceX Crew Dragon launch on Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern. The launch is 3:22 p.m. SpaceX Crew Dragon will be the first manned space mission to launch from U.S. soil since the final shuttle launch in 2011. The SpaceX Crew Dragon space was originally scheduled to launch Wednesday afternoon from Florida's Kennedy Space Center with 2 NASA astronauts aboard, but the launch was rescheduled to Saturday due to weather. Watch live coverage on C-SPAN.
In his new book, Talking to Sirs, author Malcolm Gladwell details why he thinks people make inaccurate judgments about people they don't know.
You can step on out now.
I don't have to step out of my car.
Step out of the car.
I'm going to drag you out of here. So you threatening to drag me out of my own car? Get out of the car!
She's imprisoned for resisting arrest, and days later she hangs herself in her cell. You know, a tragic and unexpected result. But that exchange that we saw, which on and on and on and on, we only saw a small snippet of it, that was the kind of, when I first saw that online, that was when I realized what I wanted to write about. Because if you break that exchange down, moment by moment, you see multiple failures of understanding, of empathy, of a million things.
Sunday night at 8 Eastern on C-SPAN's Q&A.
A discussion now on the history and science behind infectious disease research. Dr. Marshall Bloom joins us from the National Institutes of Health's Rocky Mountain Laboratories in Hamilton, Montana. He serves as the Associate Director for Scientific Management.
咁唔清楚佢係咪因為冇俾車資而去到被警員被制服咗？現場係天明樓華明村天明樓位置。咁有一名男子咧係被制服咗啦，而且我哋都見到有架的士喺度。咁而個警員講咧就話係嗰名男子咧就冇俾車資，所以就被制服啦。咁啊見到咧嗰名男子咧而家係瞓咗喺地下嘅。咁現場都有2架 EU 啦，亦都見到有白車係到場。咁相信嗰名男子咧係會被運送去醫院。咁我哋見到嗰名咧係平瞓咗喺地下啦，而雙腳咧係撐起咗。現場係華明村嘅天明樓對出嘅一個閘口。咁據警員講咧，就話嗰名男子係冇俾車資，咁所以咧就被制服。咁記者嚟到咧，嗰名男子就已經瞓咗喺地下啦。咁亦都見到場有20名左右嘅軍裝喺度。咁男子咧係會被送去醫院啦，亦都聽到佢話係有啲唔舒服。咁再重複啦，就係據警員消息講呢，現場有名男子咧，相信係冇俾的士車資，咁所以就被制服啦。咁嚟到呢，已經見到嗰名男子係瞓咗喺地下，咁而係清醒嘅。咁亦都相信係會送去醫院治理，因為都聽到佢話。咁亦都見到現場呢係有大量嘅警員喺度嘅。咁聽到嗰名男子講話，佢反抗咗好耐啦。咁都聽到佢講話唔使去院，佢要返屋企。咁見到急救員係而家去咗幫佢治理緊啦，咁而家記者又聽到嗰名男工話好痛啦，咁見到急救員係應該嘗試緊搬佢上擔架床啊。咁現場發生咩事呢？就係有一名男子呢，相信係俾車資啊，咁所以就被警員制服咗啦。咁係中年男子嚟嘅，應該至40歲左右。 哇！咁記者呢度見到咧，地下係遺留咗一大片血跡喺度啊。咁唔清楚係咪嗰名男子掙扎嗰陣時留低咗啲血跡，或者頭部受咗傷啦。以記者呢個位置嚟睇到，似係血跡啊。咁我哋亦都見到，仍然係有好多警員在場啦。咁唔清楚究竟點解處理一單少少嘅拖欠車資係需要咁多名嘅警員在場協助咧。咁我哋見到受傷嗰名男子咧，而家喺白車上面，應該急救員為佢治。冇錯啦，咁我哋見到地下依家咧係有血跡嘅，咁警員亦都用電筒嚟到照住地下嗰灘血跡啦。間艇係有保安嘅，咁啱啱都見到佢係有出入嘅。唔係打交啊，係警員講呢，就話係嗰名男子就冇俾到車資。咁嚟到呢，記者已經見到嗰名男子係平瞓咗咁喺地下度啦。咁其後就有救護車嚟到，而家喺架救護車上面治理緊。咁現場呢，記者都見到有2架嘅 EU 啦，一架嘅警車嗰啲 van 仔啦，同埋一架7人嘅車啦。咁我哋都見到的士司機仍然喺架車上面嘅，咁唔清楚係已經落完口供定係點樣。咁而警員呢，而家都有用拆翻佢啲封鎖線啊！咁我亦都見到血跡仍然。 咁記者見到咧，EU 上面嘅嗰個牌號咧係嚟自大埔嘅，都係。咁地下血跡咧就相信係啱啱制服該名男子嗰陣時而留低嘅。咁我都唔清楚行唔行到近啲俾大家睇啦。咁即係警員所講就係有一名男子冇俾車資，咁所以就伏喺地下啦。咁記者嚟到嗰陣時，已經見到嗰名男子係平瞓喺地下有知覺嘅。咁依家就喺架白車上面治理緊。咁我哋見到啦，警員亦都有用佢嘅膠帶去到封住地下啱啱執男子嘅位置。咁我哋見到地下一笪反光嘅位置呢，咁就係啱啱男子頭部嘅位置啦，亦都見到係有血跡嘅。唔係啊，佢哋話冇俾車錢啊。我唔知啊，我嚟到佢已經俾人撳低咗。係啊係啊。邊度㗎？呢區嘅 SPA 啊 ，Touch SPA。呢區嘅記者？係啊係啊，我哋主要做呢區新聞。哦，要分區揾到？我哋網媒嚟嘅，因為係。網媒邊度？Facebook 嗰度嘅，我哋係。網媒我成日睇過邊度？係咪啊 ？SPA 啊，你可以揾下，你可以 Facebook 揾下。啊係係。咁而家揾保安去到落返啲口供啦。咁再講一次啦，啱啱有一名男子啦，咁據警員所講咧，就話佢係冇俾車資，咁所以咧就被制服啦。咁記者嚟到已經見到嗰名男子係被制服喺地下，咁而係平瞓咗喺地下啦，咁而係清醒嘅。咁現場就遺留咗一啲血跡喺膠帶嗰個封住嘅位置啦。咁而嗰名男子大概3至40歲，咁就而家上咗白車治理緊，唔清楚會唔會。咁現場亦都有好多軍裝警員啦，大概20至30名。咁而家又多一架白車嚟到啦，咁唔清楚咩事。 現場呢就係華明村天明樓對出嘅迴旋處集。咁據警員消息呢，就係有名男子冇俾車資，咁所以就被制服。咁期間而家都見到地下係有血跡遺留咗喺度啦。咁以上都係警員嘅消息啦。見到嗰名男子係趴咗喺地下，咁而係清醒嘅。咁但係而家上咗去救護車上面呢，就見到地下有血跡喺度。咁而有血跡嘅位置呢，就係正正啱啱佢係瞓喺度有頭部嘅位置啦。咁嗰名男子依家仍然喺架救護車上面啦，咁相信佢未必會去送院嘅，咁相信可能治理完就會落返車或者去警署啦。記者相信啲警察講話有個男仔冇俾車錢啦，跟住然之後就撳低咗佢。咁記者都睇唔到佢究竟係點樣俾人整到受傷，見到地下佢啱啱瞓喺度頭部嘅位置，而家係有血跡嘅個地下。咁見到警員呢，而家係上咗架的士上面啦，咁唔清楚係咪為咗搜證定係點樣呢？咁我哋見到的士司機呢，都係全程喺架的士裏。 咁據警員所講呢，就係有名男子呢就冇繳交車資，咁所以呢就被制服啦。咁依家係喺架救護車上面。咁我哋啱啱見到嗰架救護車係離去咗啦，咁而亦都見到救護車上面呢係有警員喺上面嘅。咁現場淨係得返攝視機啦，同埋警員喺度。畫面蒙蒙地，可能收得唔好。現場仍然係有咁多架嘅警車喺度啦，冇特別有離去嘅。咁警員圍住咗嗰度呢，就係啱啱制服嗰名男子嘅嗰一個位啦。咁我哋見到係有血跡喺地下嘅。 啱啱有個男人啦，佢冇俾錢啦，啲警察話冇俾的士錢，跟住佢撳低咗佢咯，跟住而家送咗去醫院。冇找數。係，但係。咁記者見到咧，現場仍然係有好多警員喺度啦，咁但係又冇特別做任何嘅嘢啦，咁而的士司機就仍然繼續坐喺架的士上面啦。呢個位咧可以更加清晰睇個位置，除咗有血跡之外咧，仲有一副眼鏡喺度啦。咁記者都好奇啦，究竟佢係點樣無端端會俾人咁樣可以制服到嘅？究竟係個的士司機鎖住個門唔俾佢走，定係真係咁快有警察喺側邊，又可以即時咁快撳到低佢呢？嘅警員呢係不斷打緊電話嘅，咁唔清楚究竟佢係 call 緊啲咩嘢人嚟啦。我見到有個白衫嘅女警啦。 最後再講一次啦，咁就係喺早前呢，大概喺12點半至12點9左右啦，咁跟住係有一名男子呢，就被警員係制服咗喺地，而警員所講呢，就係話嗰名男子呢，就冇俾車資，咁所以就制服咗佢啦。咁期間記者嚟到嗰陣時已經見到嗰個男子係瞓咗喺地下啦，咁而係清醒嘅。咁而家見到地下有血跡嘅位置呢，就係男子頭部嘅位置。咁而涉事嘅的士司機呢，仍然喺呢架的士上面啦。咁亦都見到係有好重嘅警力嘅。咁記者嚟到嗰陣時係大概有20至30名嘅軍裝警員在場喺度處理緊嘅事件。而嗰名男子呢，依家係送咗去醫院啦，經白車，咁唔清楚送咗去邊啦。咁亦都見到呢，警車係開始駛返出個屋苑範圍出邊。咁我哋數一數呢，大概有5架嘅警車啦，咁有唔同款嘅。咁警員呢喺佢架車上面呢，懷疑係吸住屍體嗰啲縫啊。係啊，冇錯，咁係攞嚟吸住人哋可能跳樓啦，或者發生啲咩嚴重死亡事故嗰陣時嘅一啲啦。咁可能相信因為現場開始有少少落雨啦，咁所以就蓋住嗰個位睇到個證物啦。
都係唔會睇㗎啦，我覺得。
咁警員即係將個帆布綁喺嗰個膠帶上面啦，咁但係最終係失敗咗。咁依家都要翻另外一個警員攞翻支鐵通出去俾佢用啦。 見到警員咧係直接運用人哋屋苑嗰啲雪糕筒啦，咁亦都稱其他警員咧唔使攞佢哋嘅雪糕筒出到就有一個啦，咁就攞咗去嚟做一個圖啦。咁警員呢，相信依家都上晒車避。唔好意思，個直播斷咗，因為啱啱個電話溫度太高，所以依家除返落嚟散溫。咁等多一陣啦，如果冇特別呢，都走啊。啱啱因為溫度太熱，所以斷咗個電話，溫度太熱。係啊，陣間亦大家都可以留特朗普嘅講話啦。咁我哋都見到咧，另外一架 EU 係駛開咗啦。咁唔清楚佢係離開啦定係點啦？而家又得返一架車喺度啦。咁唔知係究竟等緊搜證啊，定係？係啦，咁依家都冇特別咩情況啦。咁最後再講一次發生咩事啦，就係啱啱喺早前大概12:91嘅時間呢，就有一名中年男子啦，就據警員所講呢，就係冇俾車資，咁所以呢，就被制服咗喺地下啦。咁但係記者嚟到嗰陣時已經見到佢係咁，而亦都係清醒嘅。咁其後咧，就上咗白車治理，駛離咗啦。咁而嗰名男子離開嗰陣時咧，個地下咧都係有一啲血跡喺度啦。咁而血跡嘅位置咧就係佢頭部嘅位置。咁記者都係收到消息，究竟點解嗰名男子可以被警員制服到啦？亦都鎖住咗架車定係之類啦。咁我亦都見到咧個仍然停泊咗喺度，咁可以睇一睇個的士司機仲喺唔喺呢架的士上面。咁我哋見到啱啱早前嘅警員都已經離去咗啦。咁我哋行前啲睇睇。 現場呢個位置咧就係見到有血跡啦，同埋有眼鏡，亦都有支筆喺度。咁相信係啱啱嗰名男子留低嘅。咁我哋見到的士司機咧影上面啦，咁唔清楚究竟係咩事咧。咁試下問下佢先。想問下咧，係咪冇俾車錢啊？佢阿 Sir 俾咗啊？即係佢有冇俾到啊？最後嗰個人冇俾到嘅，即係因為冇俾錢所以報警定係點啊？可唔可以大聲少少啊？即係嗰個人就話警察嚟，佢就俾錢咁樣。明白，唔該你。咁依家啱啱問完的士司機咧，佢就講話係嗰個乘客就講話咩警察嚟到咧，咁就俾錢啦。咁話咩車佢去差館之類嘅。咁可能相信佢係冇特別係想逃走之類啦。咁但亦都唔係好清楚成件事嘅因由啊。咁個司機都講得唔係好清楚。咁而家都冇特別啦。咁最後就記得大家 like 我哋嘅 page 啦，同埋 like 埋我哋嘅 IG 啦。咁啊，記得開翻個直播通知啦。
有共产党，没有新中国，没共产党一生发光，没有新中国，他叫梁软平，他叫梁高，叫梁你，叫梁我，全国人民跳开，如果没有共产党，没有新中国，要中了要中了，好啦该中，如果没有共产党，没有新中国，没共产党一心坚持，没有新中国，他得抗日本，他得光美国，就算你得跟我，全国人民去看，如果没有共产党。
Jinping and the Communist Party of today, after 23 years, Xi Jinping said, as far as he's concerned, this contract is over. So the response should be the United States, and you're going to see that today. In fact, Brad's a Democrat out of California. We have a bill putting in tougher sanctions on the people that are involved in this, along with the Uyghurs. And other Western democracies need to stand up. Hong Kong, as one of the freest areas on the planet, if you look at the Freedom Index score, they have the longest life expectancy, the ease of business, one of the highest per capita incomes in the world. That was prior to what China is doing. China is going to kill that, and it is going to hurt not just Hong Kong economy, it's going to be detrimental to the, and they're going to find this out.
If Hong Kong loses the one country, two systems, a system that's been in place there, what does that mean for other areas with tensions in the region? I'm thinking specifically Taiwan, which China has claimed as its own.
We've got a good editor. When China originally agreed with the Sino-Britain agreement to cede Hong Kong back to China, it was a 50-year autonomy rule. The heavy hand of the Chinese Communist Party and Xi Jinping cannot be honored or trusted, and it's going to bring shame on the Chinese. Is Taiwan, and China is going to focus on them and try reunification of China. There's a big difference. Hong Kong is a China. There is no doubt about that. Taiwan is not. Taiwan is an independent nation that needs to be recognized, and we've got legislation going in to ask for full diplomatic relations with Taiwan, and this is why. They have a sovereign border. They have their own military, their own economy, their own form of government, and anthem. And the other thing is, if you poll the people of Taiwan, they view themselves as Taiwanese and not Chinese. They have never been part of the PRC, the People's Republic of China. They are the Republic of China, but they have never been part of the PRC, which is a communist organization, nor shall they.
How willing do you think President Trump is to take that step and to get tougher on Xi Jinping than he has already?
I think you'll see President Trump honor and follow the outline that President Reagan said, communicate, where they said that we will allow Taiwan to purchase weapons for self-defense. And I think you're going to see not just the United States, but I think you're going to see Western democracies around the world come up to shore up of Taiwan. And if we don't do it today, John, is it going to be possible to do it 2 to 3 years from now when China has a stronger economy and a stronger military? This is something that China needs to know, and the Communist Party and Xi Jinping, hands off of Taiwan. It is not acceptable.
Talking with Congressman Ted Yoho this morning, a senior member of the Foreign Relations Committee in the House, joining us. If you want to join the conversation, phone line split up as usual. It's 202-748-8000 for Democrats, 202-748-8001 for Republicans, 202-1002 for independents. Congressman Yoho, as folks are calling in, and you have plenty of calls calling in already for you, sir, the response the U.S. should have outside of this, the situation involving Hong Kong when it comes to the coronavirus pandemic, and how much responsibility the United States should put on China for the pandemic, and what they should be asking China for?
Well, you know, pandemics are going to happen. They've happened in the past, they're going to happen in the future. The thing that we can fault China for is the first case was traced in December. It was becoming very evident that they had a problem. They suppressed that evidence. They suppressed it out. They didn't share information on a timely basis, and they allowed over 5 million people to leave the Wuhan area. That in itself contaminated the rest. They should be held accountable on that. But the secrecy that they have gone on, and the way that the WHO, Secretary Tedros of the WHO, the way he placated China and says they're doing a great job, they've contained this, didn't call it a pandemic for 2 weeks when he should have. Those are the types of things that China needs to be held for. And I think you're going to see that happen in several different ways. One is it's very evident that the supply chain, not just with the United States being dependent on China, but a large portion of the world especially when you come down looking at the APIs, which are the active medicines that everybody takes. 80% of those come directly from China. And that's
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States,
I think what you're gonna
accompanied by Steve Mnuchin, Secretary Mike Pompeo O'Brien, Ambassador Robert Lighthizer, Kudlow.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm here today to talk about our and several new measures to protect American security and prosperity. Pattern of misconduct is well known. For decades, they've ripped off the United States like no one has ever done before. Hundreds of billions of dollars a year were lost to China, especially over the years during the prior administration. China raided our factories, jobs, gutted our industries, stole our intellectual property, violated their commitments under the World Trade Organization. To make matters worse, they are considered a developing nation, getting all sorts of benefits that others, including the United States, are not entitled to. But I have never solely blamed China for this. They were able to get away with the theft like no one was able to get away with before because of past politicians and, frankly, but unlike those who came before, my administration negotiated and what was right. It's called fair and reciprocal treatment. China has also unlawfully claimed territory in the Pacific Ocean, threatening freedom of navigation and international trade. And they broke their word to the world on ensuring the autonomy of Hong Kong. The United States wants an open and constructive relationship with China, but achieving that relationship requires us to vigorously defend our national interests. The Chinese government has continually violated its promises to us and so many other nations. These plain facts cannot be overlooked or swept aside. The world is now suffering as a result of the malfeasance of the Chinese government. China's cover-up of the Wuhan virus allowed the disease to spread all over the world, instigating a global pandemic, more than 100,000 American lives and over 1 million lives worldwide. Chinese officials ignored their reporting obligation and pressured the World Health Organization to mislead the world. This was first discovered by Chinese authorities. Countless lives have been taken and profound economic hardship has been inflicted all around the globe. They strongly recommended against me doing the early ban from China, but I did it anyway and was proven to be 100% correct. China has total control over the World Health Organization, despite only paying $40 million per year compared to what the United States has been paying, which is approximately $450 million a year. We have detailed the reforms that it must make and engage with them directly, but there's to act. Because they have failed to make the requested and greatly needed we will be today terminating our relationship with the World Health Organization and redirecting those funds to other worldwide and deserving urgent global public health needs. The world needs answers from China on the virus. We must have transparency. Why is it that off infected people from Wuhan to all other parts of China? It went nowhere else. It didn't go to Beijing. It went nowhere else. But they allowed them to freely travel throughout the world, including Europe and the United States. The death and destruction caused by this is incalculable. We must have answers, not only for us, but for the rest of the world. This pandemic has underscored the crucial importance of building independence, reshoring our critical supply chains, and protecting America's scientific and technological advances. For years, the government of China has conducted illicit espionage to steal our. There are many. Today, I will issue a proclamation to better secure our vital university research and to the entry of certain foreign nationals from China who we have identified as potential security risks. I am also taking action to protect the integrity of America's financial system in the world. I am instructing my presidential working group on financial markets to study the differing practices of Chinese companies listed on the U.S. financial markets with the goal of protecting American investors. Investors should not be subjecting their clients to the hidden and undue risks associated with financing Chinese companies that do not play by the same rules. Americans are entitled to fairness and transparency. Several of the most significant actions were troubling situations unfolding in Hong Kong. This week, China unilaterally imposed control over Hong Kong's security. This was a plain violation of Beijing's treaty obligations. In the Declaration of 1984 and explicit provisions of Hong Kong's basic law, it has 27 years to go. The Chinese government's move against Hong Kong is the latest in a series of measures that are diminishing the city's long-standing and very proud status. This is a tragedy for Hong Kong, the people of China, and indeed the people of the world. China claims it is protecting national security. But the truth is that Hong Kong was secure and prosperous as a free society. Beijing's decision reverses all of that. It extends the reach of China's invasive state security apparatus into what was formerly a bastion of liberty. China's latest incursion, along with other recent developments that degraded the territory's freedoms, makes clear that Hong Kong is sufficiently autonomous to warrant the special treatment that we have afforded the territory since the handover. China has replaced its promised formula of one country, two systems with one country, one system. Therefore, I am directing my administration to begin the process of eliminating policy exemption of Hong Kong different and special treatment. My announcement today will affect the full range of agreements we have with Hong Kong, from our extradition treaty to our export dual-use technologies and more, with few exceptions. We will be revising the State Department's travel advisory for Hong Kong to reflect the increased punishment by the Chinese state security apparatus, to revoke Hong Kong's preferential treatment as a separate customs and travel territory from the rest of China. The United States will also take necessary steps to sanction PRC and Hong Kong officials directly or indirectly involved in eroding Hong Kong's autonomy and just, if you take a look, absolutely smothering Hong Kong's freedom. Our actions will be meaningful. More than 2 decades ago, on a rainy night in 1997, British soldiers lowered the Union flag and Chinese soldiers raised the Chinese flag in Hong Kong. The people of Hong Kong are proud of their Chinese heritage and their unique Hong Kong identity. The people of Hong Kong hope that in the years and decades to come, it increasingly come to resemble its most radiant and dynamic city. The rest of the world was electrified by a sense of optimism that Hong Kong was a glimpse into China's future, not that Hong Kong would grow into a reflection of the past. In every decision, I will proudly defend and protect the workers, families, and citizens of the United States of America. Thank you.
Sir, why not address Minnesota, sir?
Bill doesn't know.
It's not a press conference. Yeah, what happened to press conference?
about people, Hong Kong. Is there another event? No. Where's that? Is that out here?
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what surrounding we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we gallantly streaming, and the rockets and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? On the chimney seen through the mist of the deep, where the foe's haughty host in dread silence reposes, what is that which the breeze o'er the towering steep, as it fitfully blows, half conceals, half discloses? Now it catches the gleam of the morning's first beam, in full glory reflected, now shines on the stream. 'Tis the star-spangled banner, oh, long may it wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. When the land is illumined with liberty's smile, if a foe from within strikes a blow at her, down, down with the traitor that dares to defile the flag of the stars and the page of her story. By the millions unchained, through their birthright have gained, we will keep her bright flame 光復香港，光復香港，時代革命，時代革命，光復香港，光復香港，時代革命，時代革命，光復香港，光復香港，時代革命，時代革命，多謝你哋。
Beautiful place, father, where's mother?
你妈死了！你妈死了！
VPN to let them access Twitter. Come out need to pay. In the page they will say 你妈死了 which mean your mom is dead in 普通话 Mind blowing, what are those people thinking? 阿五毛 are fully educated. What a shame, climb the wall over the gate just to show 你媽series is gay. No freedom 加法文拉定กันตาม have 離沙กัน to protect communism 離沙กัน shoot the front no they shoot the 自自然 China 你媽死了嗎猜 Suddenly all 五毛 disappeared I begging they come back I have many me wanna say but Pata see won't let them again
操你！你妈死了！
Sorry at my knee hurt
你妈死了！
Which mom 死了 We have 20 mom 啦
你说啥
Talking freedom, no freedom 五毛 just only condom man just for fun You are not the only one 離沙กัน嗎五毛 shouting 自己人 Sorry 啊你媽死了不踩呀 Suddenly all 五毛 disappeared So lonely I begging they come back I have many me wanna say but them again Papa see won't let them again Papa see won't let them again
你们再这样我就生氣氣咯太過氣憤我不開心
認真時課金，派膠時課金，請資助高登音樂台，用金錢同 money 表達愛意。依家我哋 PayMe 都開咗啦，日後繼續會千方百計 cap 大家水，多謝晒。
Chinese naughty boy always make noise playing in the tweet kicking ass by the tide With the lay, you beg disgrace, cause you only know this shit phrase. Say it. Yeah. Boy always make noise playing in the tweet, kicking ass by the tiniest day. You've got coffee day, you beg disgrace, cause you only know this shit phrase. Say it. Chinese naughty boy always make noise playing in the tweet, kicking ass by the tiniest day. You've got coffee delay, you beg disgrace, cause you only know this eating phrase. Say it. I will sing a song for you. It's called Wali Masilen. Welcome. I see we check green, the we bought too. I see the blue, Winnie the Pooh, and I think to myself, Wali Masilen. I see tweet of blue, and Facebook too is pink. You don't have right, and I think to myself, Wali Masilen. The freedom in China, so tiny as the hell. Only need the faces and only know the yell. I see glasses being broken, saying 你妈死了 They only say 你妈死了 I see Chinese crying, I watch them lose. They will get 30 cents less than before. Then I think to myself, Wali Masilen. I think to myself, Wali Masilen.
In the town where I was born, we're supposed for speech, but we sold right away to the land of censorship. So we held our overlords till we drowned, and we live beneath the boot of Chinese censorship. We all live under Chinese censorship, and we're all in debt. There's no more to bet. We all live under Chinese censorship. Let's roll out the tanks, the Uyghurs and camps. The Uyghurs are unborn to be taught to love China more. And Xi Jinping starts to say,
"You don't happen to have any honey, do you?"
We all live under Chinese censorship. They say Qing Zhen Zhong and no press. We all live under Chinese censorship, and we are the ones who sell your organs. As we live a life of lease, our countries on earth have become Greece. Sky afar for Taiwan, for a worldwide Chinatown. We all live under Chinese censorship. Tiananmen protest led to no arrest. We all Chinese censorship. Say Winnie the Pooh and we'll arrest you. We all live under Chinese censorship. Chinese censorship. Chinese censorship. We all live under Chinese censorship.
唔好害人哋啲仔女啦。好心啊，啲行徑有乜辛苦？日日打黑色衫，打黑色衫，我哋嘅後生仔。好心啊，啲行徑天生咁樣，日日爭取打交，爭取打交，又破壞香港。打傳媒，打傳媒，打議員，打議員，打女仔，打女仔，打死黑警，打爛呢個家園啊！死黑警又唔做嘢，又唔讀書，死黑警點解我哋唔做嘢？害人嘅仔女啊！活街驚啊！全家仔女都喊啊！死黑！我冇罪㗎，點解要搞我咧？係我哋仇人，黑警日日鬧事，香港法例，黑警破壞香港法例，黑警係我哋仇人，黑警日日鬧事，黑警破壞香港法例，黑警破壞香港法例，香港法